Welcome back. Today I am joined by a new doctor who is with Breastlink, and her name is Dr. Valentina Bonev, and she is a breast surgeon oncologist. So I hope I got that right.
You did.
Oh, good. You know, I always want to make sure that I say the correct name and say the correct title. So thank you. Well, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on your new position with Breastlink.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
We've interviewed a lot of their doctors, over time, and everybody is very knowledgeable, and I'm sure that is the same with you. Now, we did talk a little bit off camera about where you were studying, and you mentioned that you were in Chicago, and now you came here to Orange County, which is
Yes.
great, and now you're part of Breastlink. So what are some of the things that, you really like about Breastlink?
Well, I've only been at Breastlink for a short time, but so far everything has been lovely. I'm very happy. Breastlink is it's definitely much smaller than kind of a big hospital system where you tend to be swallowed up as another employee. Versus at Breastlink, I have all my colleagues right around me, literally down the hallway from me, so I can chat with them, go over a mammogram with them, discuss a patient. Everyone has just been so kind and supportive and very welcoming. So I'm just super happy to be here.
That's interesting that you make a comparison between going to a hospital and then going to a center like
Mm.
Breastlink. From a patient perspective, what does that do for the patient?
The great thing about Breastlink, the whole model is a multidisciplinary model, which means it's a one-stop shop for a patient. So a patient who's having any sort of breast issue, it could be pain, it could be a lump, anything, they come into Breastlink, they can get imaging the same day, they can see a breast surgeon such as myself the same day. I can talk with the radiologist who's down the hallway from me to review it, to make sure we're on the same page. I see the patient, examine them, and then if they need to see an oncologist or anyone else, we have all of that provided there. Versus when you're sometimes in a bigger hospital, it's very difficult to get all of that done at the same time. Not everyone is located in the same area. You have to go to different parts of the hospital. You're getting lost. And the great thing about Breastlink, we're all breast specialists, meaning we all had basic training, and then we chose to do extra training in either breast surgery or oncology, but specializing in breast. So that is our main focus. And I think that's super important for patients who are having any type of breast issues or concerns.
Okay, good, because like we said, there's a variety of differences, and we do have hospitals, very accessible to us. But just to give the patient a good idea of what the differences are, so thank you for doing that. Now, we are under, still our pandemic of COVID-19, and many people have put off getting a mammogram or seeing their doctor. I mean, a lot of people are still really nervous, and now it's unfortunately getting a little worse before we actually get these vaccines. So, what are some things that you would let people know what they should do right now if they do come into some sort of a breast issue?
So I want to let people know that I encourage them to still come to the doctor, because we don't want, I know that people are scared or a little bit hesitant, but we don't want things to progress or things to get missed, and then that becomes a problem. So we don't want time to really pass by. Here at Breastlink, we always wash our hands, but in addition, we are following all the CDC guidelines. Everyone is wearing masks. We are disinfecting all of the rooms that patients use, keeping everything as clean and tip-top shape as possible. We are doing our best to make sure patients feel safe and comfortable, and we're definitely not compromising healthcare or management in any way.
Right. And I would imagine that this doesn't necessarily change the way you operate, with the exception of maybe some additional safety precautions that you just mentioned. So when it comes to treating a patient, this being really no different than any other time, what are some of your goals?
My goals are to make sure that I am being proactive and staying on top of the latest research and data that comes out, because breast cancer, or breast care in particular, so much has changed over the last 10 to 20 years. And I know it's going to change again in the next 10 to 20 years. So I need to make sure I'm on top of that so that patients are getting optimal breast care, which is one of the major goals of Breastlink. And I definitely am going to be a patient advocate and working with the patient, because we're all part of a team. So it's me, the patient, the radiologist, and so forth. We're all working together. And then it's really important for me to provide that compassion and empathy to patients and let them know that they're not alone in this. They have a lot of support here.
That's great. And we really love everybody that we've interviewed to this point. And I want to welcome you back to Orange County and also to Breastlink. So congratulations, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.